We don't need another nail biter tonight for the Wahoos. Hopefully, hopefully, they're ready to get back to regular Wahoo basketball, getting close to the ACC tournament.
You are Locked On Virginia, your daily podcast on the Virginia Cavaliers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Good day, viewers and listeners. I am your host, Big Law Lawrence Johnson, and welcome to the Virginia Locked On Podcast Network, the first place to come to get your Wahoo fix every day. As part of the Locked On Podcast Network, and I'm working on calling it something else in addition. Like I'm going to call it the Love Podcast, Locked On Virginia, LOV. So when you hear, hey, check out the Love Podcast, that means Locked On Virginia, but also Virginia is for lovers, so it has a dual meaning. So how about it? Y'all ride with me on this, okay? Today is 2/2/2/2/3. That's right, February 2nd. February 22nd, 23rd year, 2023 year. It is Hump Day, all right? And we're ready to get you rolling, but let me get you our title sponsor today. This episode is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook, official sportsbook of Locked On. Make every moment more. Visit FanDuel.com/Locked On today to get started. So, oh man, guys, as I said in the cold open, I'm tired of these just getting by wins. You know, and maybe being tired is a little bit of a stretch because I'm worried, totally worried about this basketball team and what I'm seeing currently. This will prove or serve as the tail of the tape. But BC versus University of Virginia for the game tonight. And I'll be doing another show tonight as well with my guy Casey Pazaya coming on to do a pregame show, and also we'll talk about some baseball. UVA baseball is on fire. I know it's early, everybody. I know, but that's my baseball correspondent. He was in the press box covering it for me this week, and we'll talk about him and what he has going on with Virginia Locked On. But and Virginia game day for him. But yeah, you know, everything that we are looking at right now, this time of the season, is a little alarming in my opinion, professional opinion. I'm looking at a team that usually has everything set. And is either they can out-execute a team based off of, you know, personnel, based off of who they are. But this team is better than they have to out-execute people. They have talent, you know, and also maybe there was a talent deficit on the roster for the past 3 years. You know, they have enough talent, in my opinion, this year to make some special things happen. They have 4 guys averaging double figures, you know, so you don't really have to or can't zero in on exactly who to focus on. And they also almost have a 5th guy, you know, Bennett Vanderplas. So they got 5 guys, you know, right there averaging almost double figures. Nobody averages more than 13 points a game, you know, and that's saying a lot. Actually, 12 points a game. Everybody's averaging 12, 11, 11, 11, 11, 9, 9, and 10. So, you know, it's a super well-balanced team. You know, they're putting up 70 points a game. So this is not a something that I need to be that needs to be taken lightly. You know, we need to figure out where this team is, and usually I'm in a way more comfortable position. Not comfortable right now. BC really gives me some worry about how they play. They actually came to the JPJ, and I was there for that game, and gave UVA everything that they wanted. And in the beginning there, one of their top players, Quentin Post, who's a big man who has a complete game. He was looking like a pro in the beginning of the game. I want to say he had 15, 16 points in the first half. 17 points in the first half. And I want to say he scored like 10 in a row, right in the beginning. And he was shooting threes. He was scoring down low. And our guys just couldn't stop him. This was the game they had to put Caden in to slow him down, and Poppy and those guys did their job. We're going to have a dosage of the big men today or tonight, to cover this man. So yes, the game is going to be I believe it's going to be on your ACC network or your local regional sporting news channel. Also, UVA is up to number 6 in the AP poll, and just getting by Notre Dame by 2 points, almost lost on a last-second shot. But they keep forging on. They keep going forward. I watched the Virginia Tech versus Miami game. I was hoping Tech could get some dirty work done and beat Miami. That would have helped Virginia out, but did not get done. So they're only a half game up on Miami. They need these wins to close out this season, but it needs to start now as they continue to forge towards the ACC tournament and the ending of this regular season. Currently, right now, Virginia is 21-4. Their conference record 13-3. Boston College 13-15, 7-10, and they beat FSU their last time out and beat them 75-69. So BC 13-15. Almost a 500 season, trying to get to 500. You never know. They may even wind up making it to an NIT or one of those postseason tournaments. But they're dangerous. They are a team. I think that they can beat any team in the ACC, especially this year. I think that Virginia just needs to be on notice. I'm not going to call this a get right game because this team shows more of the style and the gumption to beat UVA. They actually really gave them trouble, in the JPJ earlier on in that game. This game will be on the road. It will be up in Massachusetts. And, every time a team from here goes up to Massachusetts, I always worry. Or whenever they travel, kind of far, because that's a little bit of a far travel there. I'm not comfortable. I don't know, what it is, but usually in the in college sports, sometimes they don't travel as well. But I think our Wahoos will travel okay. And before I get you some more stats, let me get you this ad. The midway point of the NBA season is here, and now is the perfect time to download FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, because new customers get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. That's bonus bets back if your first bet doesn't win. Just download FanDuel Sports app. It's safe, secure, and super easy to use. Then you can bet everything from money line to point scores and 3 points drained. You can include core markets, spreads, player props, player points, rebounds, assists, etc. And so many more exclusive bets like the 2x3, 2 3-pointers scored in the first 3 minutes. Plus, FanDuel even lets you combine your bets for a chance at a bigger payout with the same game parlay. So don't miss a chance to get your no-sweat first bet up to $1,000 in bonus bets when you go to FanDuel.com/locked-on. That's FanDuel.com to learn more. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Thank you again for making Locked On Virginia your first listen every day. Make sure you check out our brand new podcast, Locked On College Basketball. Everything you need to know about college basketball in one place. Plus, hear the big name experts, insiders, coaches, and players. Locked On College Basketball available on YouTube or wherever you get your podcast. So, as we continue to talk about what's good for the team, where the team is going, what the next steps are. We got 4 games left. What are we tracking here? Let me jump back at it. We got BC, UNC, Clemson, and Louisville. Don't think that those games are gimmies, even though every one of those teams seems to be struggling right now outside of Clemson. But this is, and I mean, it's hard to, UNC, may not make the tournament. That'll be, I don't even know when has been done in the modern era where you were in the championship game and then you may not make the tournament. I'm excited to see, very interested to see where the selection committee on Selection Sunday go when UNC is on the carpet. UNC, Duke, a lot of these blue bloods, Kentucky, they're having some hard times this year. And you know what? I'm happy about it. Good for them. They're doing. They've always benefited, and I get it. They're have made a lot of their bread and butter on one and dones, 5-star, high end 5-star kids. But this may have caught up with them this year because teams like Virginia, where you have a lot of tenured players, are having some better years. And they're saying it's a down year in the ACC. Only reason they're saying that is because Duke and North Carolina are not at the top. That's kind of unfair to the Pitts, to the the Pittsburgh universities, the Miami universities, the NC States, the Clemsons, and ultimately the Virginias. In the ACC. That's just saying that they're not worthy unless the blue bloods are in it, or are leading, which I think is a bunch of garbage. But let's get to the tail of the tape some. Let's talk about, some of these points per game, field goal percentages, those kind of things, for this programs. Points per game, UVA still at 69%, right about 70. Remember, that 70 number points per game is a magical number. UVA is undefeated this year whenever they hit that 70-point threshold. BC averaging 66.3 points a game, and they're still a team that can put points up, and they got a lot of different ways they can score with all the different players. Points against, we're looking at UVA at 60.1 points, so almost 10 points, but they're at 9 points of difference, whenever they win. BC 70 points given up, 70.7 points given up. So they're giving up more than they produce. So that's another focus that they should also check out. University of Virginia, turnover percentage, number 6 in the nation. BC is number 199 in the nation when it comes to turnover percentage. That's something that UVA has to, and I mean totally, have to stick to this. They cannot turn the ball over against a team like this, any more than they have, moving forward. Field goal percentage, UVA shoot 50%, and they have to shoot that high, especially when your 3-pointers and your free throws have not been what they've been in the past. BC shooting 48.3, so 2 percentage points less than the Wahoos, but that means that they can score too. They're shooting pretty much almost 50%, in their own right. 3-point percentage, UVA shooting 37%. Now think about how bad UVA has been shooting their 3-pointers. and they're still at 37%. Remember, 40%, if you're making your threes at a 40% clip, you're a good anything 40% higher, you're a good three-point shooting team, a really good three-point shooting team. BC shooting 31.4%. So that kind of gives you a perspective. That actually is a very big difference from 31% to 37%. That's a big difference. But UVA shooting 37% down from damn near 40% in the beginning of the year. They need to get that up. They need to hit their open shots, and it's not like they haven't had the opportunities. They've just missed those open shots, and those are kind of the things that really have me worried about what to expect from this team moving forward. Free throws, another thing. They are down, way down, 70.4% from the free throw line. BC shooting 72.1%. UVA shooting damn near into the 60s. They're only a few percentage points up, zero point 0.4 percentage points up from being a 69% free throw shooting team. But that's unheard of. I don't even know. I had to go back in the record books to see, when was the last time UVA shot 70%, 69% from the free throw line? It's unheard of. I just don't know if I've ever seen that from them. But it's biting them in the tail. It's something that we can't sustain. If we want to move forward, if we want to get, to the big dance with a favorable ranking, we have to hit our free throws. No doubt about it. They've done a great job of, whenever they're cold, to start to drive to the bucket. That's something that I really love in the mind shift from the University of Virginia basketball players. Getting to the bucket, driving to the bucket, as opposed to just staying outside and shooting threes. That's when you know your team is really, going through an evolution. They're changing everything that they've, everything that they were at one point in time during the season. And this team is moving there, driving to the bucket, getting fouled. You got to hit those free throws, make them pay. It's almost a double, a double hit. They get fouled, so they get a foul on the record. Then they also are, getting penalized because we get to shoot foul shots. Then of course you also get the abilities to get an and one, so you get a 3-point play off of it. So there's just too many benefits for the team to whenever they get an opportunity to drive to the bucket and score. Kihei Clark has totally stepped his game up. He's turned into more of a drive to the bucket and score or kick point guard, even more so. And shout out to him for breaking John Crotty's Virginia record for most assists. I was listening to the commentary from Corey Alexander, and he was saying that they're going to put an asterisk by it because he did it in 5 years, and John Crotty did it in 4. So I said, okay, I get that part. But shout out to Kihei regardless. He got it. He's number 1 on the list. And good job, young man. I'm looking forward to seeing him on the next level or see where he goes. You got to follow him, man. He's, in my mind, totally turned around. A lot of people used to kind of bang on Kihei. They used to give him a hard time. They would say Kihei can't shoot. He's not, he turns the ball over a little too much, but he's everything right now. He's the reason why this team is surging forward. He's the general. He's done a great job of making sure that this team is not lost. And, this is where we need to be, man. This is where they need to go. So, with that being said, let's keep rocking and getting into the points per game. But thank you again for making Locked On Virginia the love show. Okay? Locked On Virginia, the love show, for making your first listen every day. make sure you check out our brand new podcast, Locked On College Basketball. Everything you need to know about college basketball in one place, plus hear from big name experts, insiders, coaches, and players. Locked On College Basketball available on YouTube or wherever you get your podcast. So let's talk about the points, per game for what these players are scoring. Right off the bat, they have Ashton Langford, a guard, 12 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Jay Zachary, he's averaging 10 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, excuse me. Then, of course, Quentin Post, the big man who, I'm actually worried about him, man, as far as us playing him, because our big men could not stop him. None of our players could stop him. He's bigger than most of those guys, and he plays with a really, really tight, varied skill set. The man can shoot from deep. He can play down low. He has good footwork. He can really get it done. He was injured in the beginning of the year, but he's come on. He's been doing well. He's averaging 16.4 points a game, 6 rebounds, and 1 assist. He's just, he would be in the top half of the scorers, but he doesn't have enough games under his belt. But he's definitely a tough guy. If you remember last game, he had 24 points against UVA and 6 rebounds. And I want to say he had 16, 17 in the first half. So, not to sleep on this guy. I know he's ready because we are coming to his town, and he's ready to put on the show to show that wasn't a fluke against the Virginia's pack line. And I know the Boston College is going to try to get him the ball down low. That's one thing I've seen the pack line be vulnerable to big men who actually have ability to score inside and outside. So let's not forget about, this player. But my prediction for the game, I'm looking at, and this is optimistically thinking that they're going to get back to playing Virginia basketball. I'm looking at 69-60. UVA wins the game by 9 points. And this is just UVA playing the game that we're used to seeing them play, playing their defense, hitting more of their open shots, hitting their free throws. That's where I am with it. I got to ride with them, ride with our boys. But we got to get back to normal. We got to get back to what we do best, and that is grinding teams out with the type of defense that we're usually used to playing on, with this pack line defense. Getting out on the break when we can, because that's one thing that we were doing. We're playing a little bit more up tempo. What are we? 11 of 12 wins, even though the last few have been really ugly. We were also playing a little bit up tempo, meaning we were getting more possessions, in essence, getting more points per game. But we can't do that if we're just missing shots and our defense lags a little bit. So check out the game, 7 p.m. Be there. Also, check out my guy, Casey Pizzalia. We will be on. We're going to do a little bit of a pregame tonight, and you guys can check us out there. He's also covering the baseball program. Of course, UVA really put the screws to Longwood yesterday, beating them 26-2. I know it's early, man. I said it yesterday. I know I'm excited about this baseball program. My guy Jay Wolford, we'll talk about that coming up. Football spring season, football season's coming up. The official spring game is April 15th, so put that on your schedule. But yeah, they're about to start spring football practice here in March. But got to thank you again for making Locked On Virginia your first listen every day. Make sure you check out our brand new podcast, Locked On College Basketball. Everything you need to know about college basketball in one place. Plus, hear from the big names, insiders, experts, coaches, and players. Locked On Virginia Basketball available on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you, guys. This has been a great experience. We'll keep this baby growing. Make sure you subscribe and like the page. All right? Like the love page, the Locked On Virginia page. Remember, Virginia is for lovers. I'm tying it in. I'm totally making it a thing. Okay? it only makes sense that the love show is Locked On Virginia, and Locked On Virginia is the love show, and Virginia is for lovers. Hey guys, let's make it happen. I'll see you a little later. Just keep rocking with me, man. Big game this weekend. I will be on the grounds for this UNC game. It'll still be packed. We'll still get a lot of. I think the JPJ will be ready to explode again. Remember, these Duke North Carolina games in the JPJ always sold out, always loud, and just hopefully get another classic with UVA on the winning end of it. Thank you guys. I love you. Locked On Virginia. Let's go. Wahoo.